All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Bigger Than Sports podcast. We're so excited to get into it. And before we do, I would like to just tell you all a little bit about the organization that is behind the podcast. And that's Bigger Than Sports. We just started a couple of months ago by a bunch of college students who are crazy enough to believe that they can change the world. And how we change the world is by providing educational guidance to underserved students in their last year of high school, helping them to positively shape their future and break generational cycles. We specifically work with athletes because a lot of athletes, including us, fall under the belief that sports are the only way out. But to be real, it's not. And 99.9% of the time, it won't be. But if you can take what you've learned from sports, all of the hard work, determination, and grit that you put in to be successful at that sport, and you can apply it to something else, that is when you can create real change in your life and in your family's lives. So I'm not going to be the only one speaking here. Chris, Luke, please introduce yourselves and what you all do at Bigger Than Sports.
What's up, y'all? I'm Christian. I'm the director of outreach of Bigger Than Sports, basically sponsorships, and for us to get going on the back end of things.
I'm Luke Verrelli. I'm the director of programming here at Bigger Than Sports, and I do a lot of the event planning, event management, quote-unquote game day stuff, and a lot that goes into our fundraisers.
That's awesome, y'all. And just to pose a little question for you guys, with this podcast, Chris, I'm going to ask you first. Bro, what do you want to see? What do you want the people to see and hear?
Sports, life after sports. Luke?
It's for me, I want it to be a big awareness thing for us, but also in the sense of it's something relatable, people that are our age or close enough can relate to, and just be a great platform for us to extend what we're doing.
Yeah. And I think that this is an amazing platform to expand our outreach, but also our impact. The stories that we are going to share, the people that we are going to talk to, and the vision that we are just sharing every single time that we speak about this and our mission is all going to go back into what we want to do and what we see as the change that we want to make. We're going to be interviewing everyone from professional athletes who made it through sports all the way to people who pivoted from that success in sports and did something after sports. Because, what is it, y'all?
It's bigger than sports.
Bigger than sports.
It's bigger than sports. So this is funny because it's always Chris trying to be extra. Bro, take them glasses off, bro. We're inside.
My bad.
There ain't no sun in here.
And with that being said, Chris, could you share with us why you're involved with Bigger Than Sports?
Man, why? That's something that, first off, that I love Bigger Than Sports because it kind of hits me in the heart a lot. To go off that question, my friend, when I was in 4th grade and we were in the same school together, I'm not going to say his name, but, he was a good football player, an amazing athlete at his age. He was one of the best. And he grew up, he was different. He grew up in a single-parent household. His father was in jail. His mother had him and 3 more kids, and he was the oldest. And at the time, he was my best friend. We went to school together in middle school. And, it was fun. I mean, we were kids, just playing every day. PE, we were excited for PE. It's like the NBA Finals. We were just so hyped. And
that's real.
Literally.
He, unfortunately, was going down these paths that I seen. And we didn't talk for a while until one day I spoke to him. I was like, hey, man, what's going on? We're not seeing each other a lot. We're not talking a lot. And he said, man, I'm into some things right now. I don't want to say too much, but let's just say, I have protection on me. I'm part of this gang that I'm in that I think it's cool to be a part of, and I think it will help me out in the long run. I was like, all right, man, like, well, I hope it goes well. As a kid, I'm here in gang. I'm not really that much I just don't know that much about it. So days went by, and one day he saw these football cleats that he really wanted, and he told me all about them before he joined the gang. And he was really passionate about them. Like, it was his number one thing that he wanted, but his mom, fortunately, couldn't afford it. And, his dad was in prison. So he then proceeded to go to the mall. He saw them, and he stole them. And as he was stealing them, the cop that was there, instead of stopping him, he shot him. And it killed him. And unfortunately, he was so young, but he went down the wrong path of going to be a pro athlete. I think he was going to be a pro athlete, 100%. And it's unfortunate how his life was ended like so quick when he had such a bright future ahead of him. And it's sad, the way I grew up and the way he grew up was totally different. My why is because of him, but also it's because how I grew up. I still to this day am affected by a stutter. And kids, please, don't let no one tell you you can't do this if you have a stutter. I promise you, you will be okay. So I grew up with my mom, my dad, and my brother. And my brother, let's go that route. His name is Al Horford. You guys might know him. If you don't know, 5-time All-Star, 2-time back-to-back champ in college, Boston Celtics legend, and a champ in the NBA, soon to be this year again. But that's my brother. The way I grew up, I was blessed. My mother is a journalist, and she is a big spokesperson in DR. That's where Al was born. My mom was born. And she loves family. I was surrounded with love, respect, and family. My father, he's from El Salvador, and he came in illegally at a young age because there was such a bad time. And, him and my mom met in Philadelphia. I was born in Philly, and here I am now. When I was in 3rd grade, I went to school in Dominican Republic. And from kindergarten to 2nd, I went to a Montessori and a charter school. And it really opened my eyes. Because my father, for 10 years of my life, was not there physically because he couldn't get a passport going and stuff like that. But it was hard. So that's why in 3rd grade, I moved in DR for 1 year to just be with him, just so, he has me. And he has me and my mom. And it's different. Man, I saw my school was a private Christian school in Dominican Republic. And we didn't have a lot of water. We had no windows. If it was raining, it was just rain all over. Our gym was barely a gym. Our cafe wasn't closed. It was always open. So a lot of riots went down because we were such like a quote unquote rich school in DR. So a lot of people started to do some riots outside of our school because we took their light, but in reality, we didn't even have light at times. So growing up, seeing the difference between school and kids for me was like eye-opening because I never expected people to be like that, especially when kids just want to learn. And then, I came back to the U.S. And from that point on, like, my whole mind shifted from being, oh, okay, life is easy, life is good, like, I have no problem because of the way I grew up. But now it's like I appreciate things that my mom does, that my brother does, and my dad does, especially my brother. Probably the biggest role model for me growing up. I mean, he is an amazing brother, amazing father, and just a friend. Just seeing him grow up with me, man. Like, he saw me grow up, but I saw him grow up. Like, when I was a kid, he didn't have a wife and he didn't have kids. Then I saw him grow up. Now he has 5 kids. He has a wife and, just an amazing life. And, I've always seen him play, and it's such an amazing chance to grow up and really have this mindset of, like, life isn't just about cars and money and having a big house. Like, it's what you do with what God tells you to do, or your heart. I'm big of what your heart tells you to do. So don't think about all the superficial things that you think of in life. Think towards what you think you could do better, for not just for you, but for the people around you, to get better. So yeah, it's my why.
Thank you, Chris. And just to pose the question, with Bigger Than Sports, what is your heart telling you to do?
Man, it's and like, we made this happen last year, so it's just a crazy ride. But in Luke, like, I wanted to be a pro athlete. I saw my brother play sports. My whole life I was like, yeah, I'm going D1. Mm-hmm. I wanted to follow him because I saw him play all the time.
I can't imagine having an NBA brother. That's 0.01%.
Yeah.
So you really grew up like you wanted.
Yeah, I wanted it. And, I was training every day, working out every day to be the best that I can. In high school, I'd say I was okay. And then my senior year, I took a big leap of being okay to being a very good basketball player. I partially tore my Achilles, or maybe fully tore it, my senior year of high school before the season started. And that really, it took away a lot of confidence from me. It definitely took away the love of the game, because I was sidelined for 4 weeks and then I came back to play, which was stupid. I should have done surgery, but I mean, at the time I wanted to play college basketball because I saw him do it, so I was like, I could do it too. I was a good basketball player my senior year. I shot 48% from the three. School record in high school for most threes in a game. And, I thought I was going to be something, at least D3, JUCO. Came to Lynn thinking I could play basketball, and, it just didn't pan out. And, I didn't know what else to do with a lot of things that my freshman year had. A lot of trials, a lot of new paths of life. But one thing that BTS has given me is the chance to give back to the kids that don't have a chance, per se. I'm blessed to be in a position where I've played sports, I've done the training, I've done the 5 a.m. workouts, the after practice lifts and shooting, and I've done all that. And it's now I could see the value of going to college. I could see the value of focusing on what you want to do if basketball doesn't work out. And for me, it's just to give kids a platform to express how they feel. Bigger than sports is, yeah, sure, it's us and it's what we think of, but it's for the kids. We want the kids to have a voice that it's, that hasn't been spoken out about. They have a voice too, and this is their platform to show what they could do with that. And they could break generational curses and provide that one stepping stone to change the way of life for the rest of their family. And, for me, I'm a big family person, so I just, I pray every night for kids who don't know what to do, because bigger than sports, in reality, that's what we do. We give them a platform and we give them a chance through what they love the most. And man, I could go on and on about big like BTS, but that's gonna take 5 years type. So, but yeah,
Man,
it's bigger than sports for me.
Chris, we really, really appreciate hearing that from you. Dude, from the jump, the vulnerability and the authenticity that comes from you sets the tone for all of us and for all of what the Bigger Than Sports podcast is going to be about. So from me and Luke and from everyone, thank you for sharing, bro. It's truly an inspiration, because that why is showed and answered through your what you do every day. So thank you. And Luke, I'm not going to just let you be a listener over here, man.
Yeah.
I'd actually want to pose the same question to you, because this answer is very, very, very exciting for me to hear, because Luke, which many of you do not know, just joined the Bigger Than Sports team halfway through the school year.
Took my job.
Did take Chris's job.
He has absolutely been killing it, working his butt off. And I never really got to the core of his why and how he just goes so hard every single day, because it has to be fueled by something bigger than himself. So, Luke, why Bigger Than Sports for you?
All right. Well, I'm gonna start this off a little more funny, because it's gonna get a little harder on myself. But the reason, I'll start off with how I found out about Bigger Than Sports. I tell Ian this story. I bring this up all the time. Is I came down to college. My high school sports career was over, but I'm one of those guys. I'm like, I always got to be doing something, right? So I was playing pickup basketball. I met Chris and Ian the first week, and they made such the big thing to. They don't know me, but they're always calling my name, always going down the court. Luke. A couple days later, I see all these posters around, right? And I'm like, oh, 3-on-3 basketball. Oh, man, some of my guys that I became friends with in the first month, we'll do this. I'm walking out of my dorm, and I see Ian, and he's holding a stack of posters. He's probably got a pound of posters in his hand. And he was like, oh, what's up, man? We're just talking. We're just whatever. And he's telling me about the tournament. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna try to get some of my friends there, see if we can get a couple teams. I'll play against them. And he's like, oh, perfect. I can't wait. You're gonna love it. I was like, yeah, I can't wait. He's like, all right. So here I'm like, all right, bye, Ian. Bye, Peter. Ian called me Peter that day. To this day, I will forever hold that against. Nah, I'm kidding. But that's when I found out about Bigger Than Sports, and I was like, damn. This sounds really interesting. Not just the tournament-wise. I saw it and I clicked on the website, looking around. Eventually, just getting to know Ian through basketball. He told me about Bigger Than Sports, and I was like, damn, I gotta be part of this. It's something really special. Literally can remember it like it was yesterday. We're in the caf by the windows, and I said, hey, I want to get involved. And from there, so that was how I found out and joined. But really, deep down, my why. It stems from my life in high school. I'll start with that. I grew up playing basketball my whole life. My dad was a Division III basketball player at Roger Williams. He was a huge inspiration for me. So me and my brother, actually, my older brother, we always played basketball. It started with rec from a young age. I never got into any of that travel, stuff like that when I was younger, so I didn't really get involved with the basketball community because I just always did it for fun. But I always said, hey, my dad did this, I'm going to be good at this, right? And I was whatever, I was fine, 8th grade, whatever. I got into high school, and I was friends with the basketball community just from I don't really know, you just kind of in high school you kind of group with people that are like you. So I was really excited to be on the freshman team for my high school. That was the COVID year because I'm a freshman. It was a COVID year, my freshman year. And tryouts got moved from November to, I believe it was January, February. It was absurd. It was such a short season. And I'll say this, I never made the middle school teams. It always broke my heart, but it was I was oh, it's so selective. I won't even let it get to me. So I make it to high school, and I had been practicing up to it, but definitely not as much as I should have. But I went there, did the tryouts, worked my butt off. It was one of the hardest things I've worked for. they always gave out these like letters or whatever. Everyone's like, oh bro, like you're on the team, like it's gonna be a fun season. I get in the car with my dad, he's like, how'd you do? I'm like, I think I did really good. I got a really good last couple of days. I don't think I missed a shot like those 3 days. Not like me now. I open it and it's like, thank you for trying out. We will not be selecting for a team. I was like, damn, that's like the worst. And I know it's just freshman team, but to me, that's like my whole life right there. I was like, I went home. I think I cried. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, damn, like
definitely cried.
Like I'm not gonna lie. Like that's like when you're a freshman and it's like that's what you've been doing. It's like, damn. Like cause for me, it was something I'd done. My friends had all done, and I like literally throughout high school, my thing was like, I just want to be like my dad. Like I want to do that. So I literally sat there and cried. And I remember like on the car ride home before I like got home and was all sad and all that. He was like, he was like, what happened? And I opened the letter. I told him. He's like, only way to get better is by working at it. Like, what are you gonna, if you're gonna go sit there and cry, go ahead. But if you're gonna quit now and be done with it. If you want to make the team next year, because at the bottom it always says we're inviting you to do it next year. He said they want you to come back and try out next year. And this man made me email the coach, the varsity coach who signed the letter. Never spoke to him in my life. Big, tall guy. I was like scared to death of him at first. Made me write a whole email. That was my first ever email, mind you. You'd actually be proud of it. It was very good. On why I didn't make the team and like, da 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 da. And I was deep down praying, I wish he's like going to say, we accidentally gave the wrong letter. And he gave me all these things to work on. I was like, damn, so I just suck. Like, I was like, you sit up. But the biggest thing that stuck out to me from that was like, you want to get better, you want to make your team, work for it. Like nothing is going to be handed out to you. I was never someone that was just given handouts. I was not very fortunate to be like, my dad's the coach or on the team. Like there were some people in that just growing up on like teams, travel teams, whatever. So I joined AAU, worked my butt off for like a whole summer, fall, winter, whatever it was. Made a team sophomore year. Didn't really play at all. Season's over. Worked my butt off to go into junior year. Junior year, definitely could have, I think I could have done more, but was a new coach. He liked me at first. I won't lie. I got into a little bit of trouble at school. I was a little bit of a delinquent that year. So I won't go into that, but it wasn't anything bad, but I missed some time, so it set a bad impression on the coach, right? That year ends, and I'm like, damn, I got to lock in. Because, I had tried locking in for last year, and I messed up for myself. But my coach told me at the end of the year, we did post-year interview. He said, listen, I think you can do a lot of great things for this team and continue that, but you need to, work your butt off and I'm gonna give you a clean slate next year, and I know that you're going to mature as a man, but I need you to continue to improve as a player. And I told him, I was like, hey, I want to take this to the next level, at some role. And because that was always my dream, was to be a college basketball player, just like my dad, being an athlete, just like actually both my parents. They're both athletes. So senior year, I'm working my butt off. I'm working with a trainer for lifting and getting stronger. I was really at a very good level physically. And basketball-wise, I was training so much, even my buddies from other schools, from my school. So I had a very good summer league, a great fall season, and things were looking good. I was putting up good numbers, and I was my coach really loved it. He said to me after one game, he was like, man, you done so well. We're going to do really good things this year. And we get to the season, I'm at a point where I'm either, depending on lap, I'm either a starter or six man, depending just whoever we're playing against, right? And it's our very first scrimmage. Our coach was sick. Our assistant coach couldn't come. We had one of the other assistant coaches coaching us, and he had his preferences, whatever. I go in. First play of the game. I go in. I was a rebounder. Even at my size, I was a very good rebounder in the league. So I go in. First play. Pass. Teammate chucks up a shot. I go in, grab a rebound, and I'm fighting with someone for it, right? I try swinging him over, just like a rip. It should just be a jump ball. I swing it, and it turned my body all the way around. Next thing I know, my foot is like a sandwich. All I hear is pop. Yeah. I sat there, and I almost teared up on the court. I was like, yo. My boy Ethan comes over, and Evan come over. They're like, yo, like, you good? I'm like, yo, I just felt pop. Like, it's over, bro. I'm so pissed. It's literally the first play of my senior year, right before the season about to start. So I get walked to the court, whatever. They tell me, yeah, put this on. I go to the walk-in, and they check it out. They're like, oh, it's just a sprain. You'll be good in 2 weeks. And me, I'm like, I'm coming back tomorrow. Like, I'm not missing my senior year. Like, this team needs defense. So literally, like, 4 days later, I took off the boot. I was supposed to be in a boot for like almost a month, and I'm like hobbling around practices like I have a peg leg for the entire season, with an air cast. Turns out, it was not a sprained ankle. They said they don't. I didn't do any MRIs or anything towards the end because I was like, I just want to feel better or whatever. But likely some sort of whatever with my Achilles tear, something like that. So it was a way worse injury than they said it was. So I should not have been playing on it because it got worse. After the season, I was like, nah, I'm not done with basketball. Like, this is my whole life. Like, the gym I went to had a basketball court. There's, like, adult runs there. So I was there from, like, March to damn near June, just playing 4-on-4 for, like, 3 hours straight. Like, my mom would be texting me at 11 o'clock at night. What are you doing? Why aren't you home? I'm like, I'm hooping. I'm hooping. That was my life. Like, at that point, I just wanted to get done with high school. And for me, I was very fortunate to have parents that, like, once that happened to me, and my, like, college hopes were kind of like, damn, like, I'm cooked. Like, I don't know what I want to do in college now. Like, I can't play. My chances of that are done. What do I do? And I'm very fortunate to have parents that are not, like, just get, like, all right, figure it out yourself. Like, they push me, and they push me to, like, look at options. To think about my academics, and after, like, some time, it was a very, like, hard time mentally. I never really talked about this, but, like, you go from doing this consistent thing almost every day of your life, like Chris said, you're putting all that work, 5M workouts, all these practices, to not doing that anymore. It's like it's just a crazy change. It was like it almost like broke up with basketball. It was like, I don't know what to do in my life. Like, I go into a spring season, I have a sport. I got so lazy, let me tell you. Until finally one day, just hit me. I'm like, let me just focus on myself. Like, I came from a very hardworking family. Like, they want me to succeed. I'm going to use every opportunity I can to succeed. And very fortunately, through a friend, I found Lynn. And now, like I said, met Ian, call me Peter. Here we are. So I had to overcome that with basketball. But in basketball, for me, like I said, the mental part of it was so hard for me in high school because, for starters, like, I was never first choice in anything. Like, literally, even my own friends, well, quote-unquote friends. And it sucked because I had this vision of myself because I saw so much of myself through my dad because he like, I grew up with him as one of my biggest inspirations. Like, seeing him run all these marathons that he did, playing basketball, whatever it was, hearing about how he was when he was younger, when he played at Roger Williams, it was like, I want that to be me. Like, I want him to be proud of me. And, like, every time I feel like I didn't do well with basketball, I felt like I was failing him. Mm-hmm. And that was a talk I had with him. And, like, I literally said to him, like, you never tell me you're proud of me, this and that. He's like, Luke, I've always been proud of you. I see how much hard you work. I see how much you try to improve yourself. And with that, like, I took that into trying to help myself get into college and have my parents help me to get there. And with my dad, I said about the marathons and watching him do that. So he actually runs his own foundation, a charity called Project Purple, which you guys know about. They're based in Connecticut, focused on pancreatic cancer, research, prevention, all that, like, funding for relief. And so that started when I was younger. My grandfather was diagnosed, I believe in 2008. Came back in 2010, and he passed away in 2011, I want to say. And that sucked because that was like, I mean, we were coming from an Italian family. We were so close. Every Sunday, I'm always at Nani's house. And it took a toll on my dad that I didn't realize till I was older, but seeing how it changed him in a positive way was the biggest thing for me, because that inspired me to be a change maker, in the sense of he he didn't have that happen to him, losing one of the biggest influences and closest people in his life, and he didn't just keel over and die. No, because he started Project Purple in 2010. They're having their 15th year actually this year, which is insane to me. And
shout out.
And he didn't just work for himself and his family. He made his impact everybody he could. Like, when I tell you, this guy, like, it just loves talking to people. Like, everywhere we go, he sees someone he knows through Project Purple. It's because he's most likely impacted their life. And I think having that in my life when I was younger, you know, going to all these events, going to these marathons, seeing all this happen, seeing the impact, it really just set something in me when I was younger about, like, what I wanted to do with, like, changing people's lives and focusing on helping others, because they don't have what I was able to have in life, and I also can share similar experiences with them, so that has allowed me to be able to relate with them and want to help them. Like, it's something that just, it calls to me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Luke. You guys both have one-on-one stories. Growing up with a brother in the NBA, being raised by a father who is the CEO of a nonprofit. It just shows through our stories that Bigger Than Sports is different. Like, we have a different type of why and ignition into our vehicle for change. And I'm really, really grateful that you guys told your stories.
Yeah, Luke, big up, because I didn't even know all that, you know. And it's just nice to hear that part of you come out, because, you know, we all joke around and stuff. But it's just nice to hear that part, you know, because, you know, we're all men and we all have our own stories. But that reminds me, Ian, you've been trying to ask us all these like, about why. So, like, what's your why? I'm Mr. CEO.
Yeah. There's so many different ways that I could go with it.
Yeah.
And the same exact feeling arises every single time. Because you know how many times I've been asked, what's your why? Why do you do Bigger Than Sports?
Probably like a couple thousand.
And how many times have you guys heard it?
Like six, 700 times.
Stop doom scrolling. With that being said, the same feeling that arises is anger, to be honest.
Yeah.
And why we work with students in underserved communities in their last year of high school is because we just did it. Like, we literally just went through our last year of high school. And that moment was so pivotal. Like, based on that decision that we made then, led us to here. But if we chose any other school, or we went into trade, or we went to just go straight into the workforce, our lives would be completely different. And to be real, it would be a lot worse. And
Yeah.
I went through that senior year of high school with no stress. Like, dude, I had senioritis to the max. I would be out 2 periods and I'm gone.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I was chilling. I had applied to schools by November, and I had that relaxation and that ease of mind because of my upbringing. I had 2 parents that worked at colleges at the time, and still do, and have my entire life. I've known college was the answer. And mind you, they both went to college, so they knew what it was like. They knew how important it was. And not to mention, I had an older sister that just went through the process 3 years before me, and she was able to guide me through it like it was nothing. And I went off to college. Chris knows I had a blast. Woo! And I was so excited and happy to go back home and just tell all of my friends about how much fun I just had, about how much I just learned. And then it hit me. They had an entirely different path than I did. And the only difference between me and between them is because of the guidance and the person that they had pushing them in their back. I did. I went to college. I got to go and be greater and bigger than myself and envision a life that was more than minimum wage jobs. going and working for your parents, going and doing what your parents want you to do or what your friends are doing. I had my own independence with my freedom because I was offered that through guidance. And my friends didn't. And so when I went back and I saw that they were stagnant and they were in the same position and they were unhappy and they were unfulfilled and with lack of direction and lack of purpose, that ignited a fire in me. And I walked out of that summer knowing that that will never, ever happen again if I can change that story. And at Bigger Than Sports, we're changing that story for so many people.
For sure.
So many people. And that's that why.
And and just hearing that again and again, it just doesn't get old with time. It's like, you know, I'm Ian's best friend, you know, like since day one we met. Just like Luke. Luke met us at runs. I met Ian outside at Lynn playing basketball.
Sports, man.
And you know,
sports.
And it all went through there, man. And you know, Ian went through a lot freshman year. I went through a lot freshman year. But man, seeing Ian now, I want to ask, like, because I don't ask you this a lot, like, what changed from freshman year Ian to now Bigger Than Sports CEO Ian Waite?
Dude, it's a great question. And just for context, dude, I was nowhere near the man that I am now. Nowhere near. And I always had it in me. I did. But thanks to a great friend and his organization, DMD Network, I went through a ton of self-discovery. And I started to ask myself, and I got asked the questions that I didn't even know were supposed to be asked. Like, what was my purpose in life? Like, what did I even want to do with this ability to talk and this ability to connect and this smile that, like, literally can change the world? What were you doing with it? And he asked me this one question, bro. He said, Ian, you say you're a leader. What are you leading your friends to? You know what my answer was? To the club. Literally, I would we're dorm parties, and I would connect everyone. I would be the event manager. We're going here. We're doing this. Everyone lock in. Like, that was me, and I had those leadership qualities to me. Like, I did. I always did. And when I started to ask myself the hard questions, like, what am I actually going to do with this ability? What am I going to lead my team to? It comes down to something bigger than myself. Something bigger than sports, something that has given me so much. I was a 3-sport athlete. So was my sister. So was my brother. My father played, ran his whole life. Sports were everything. Dude, I put my blood, sweat, and tears. And I watched my sister do it. I watched my brother do it. And it was everything to me. And through Bigger Than Sports, I'm able to give back to the sport that gave so much to me. And I think that's what all of us are doing with Bigger Than Sports. So yeah, that was the change. And now we're all leaders, but I'm leading this team to changing the world and ensuring that no kid gets left behind and no student falls under the belief that sports are the only way out, because it is not. Luke, you're only a freshman, bro. That's the crazy part.
Freshie.
I could ask that question. But I think this is a good time for us to talk about the goals of Bigger Than Sports. Yeah.
Before that, shout out Ian Waite, man. Best weight in the fam.
All right.
College hooper.
Shout out Emma. Shout out Spencer. Shout out Mom. But
And Dad.
And Dad, what you doing? Yeah. It's your pops.
All right, bro. You ever wanted to be on the camera and be like, "Yo, shout out Mom"? Like, you guys, everyone's wanted to do it. Shout out the moms. Shout out the moms.
Shout out Mom, bro, for real love.
Shout out the moms.
Love.
Shout out Mama Verrelli. I miss you.
Big bro. Catch you, man.
So, with that being said, what are the goals, man? Luke, tell me, Director of Programming, what's the big goal for next year?
personally or like as
an organization.
would you like that like on a fiscal level? Like
Nah,
as
give
like,
me some of the programming.
well, let me tell you this. Since I joined Big End Sports, I have been here for one event. And I will say this because Tiger told me this. Before I joined Big End Sports, both of our events, we did not turn a profit. And it hit me. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
What are they doing wrong? Turns out they didn't have me. Because when we had our pickleball event, me and Chris locked in. And financially and aware and impact-wise, it was, I think, our most impactful event for us. And it's something that allowed us to grow the most because we expanded our network of who our reach extended to. And it's going to help us in the long run having events like that. So that being said, over the next year, me and Ian and Chris have been like so dialed on like what's next to Big End Sports. So we have our next Sunday this Sunday in literally 6 days we have our Big End Sports flag football event at Patch Reef Park. Registration starts at 9 a.m. Be there if you're playing.
Be there, be square, man.
We have a fun day full of activities, full of games. It's going to be awesome. This has been like our big home run Grand Slam hitter for the last couple months. Like we've literally been, I think at least sat in the study room for like hours straight with these guys and just planning it. So that was super exciting. We've got, can I say it over summer?
Go ahead.
We got 2 basketball tournaments coming over the summer.
Too excited. Start stuttering.
We have Pittsburgh. Can I say dates?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tentative date of July 12th in Pittsburgh, location pending. And our 1-year anniversary on July 19th, we're having the Big End Sports 3-on-3 basketball tournament in my home state of Connecticut. And with that, we're actually collabing with Project Purple, my father, Dino Verrelli's nonprofit that he runs. And we're working with their Project Purple Sports Division. And what we're looking to do with these events up north, it's really like, screw the money, I could care less. I mean, but I really just want to spread what we do. I want this to be a huge awareness event, a huge impact thing. And really, like, for the kids that are playing, that are affected, I want this to be something special for them. Because for me, and I would have loved to have stuff involved with my community through basketball over the summer. I know we do have an alumni tournament that is ran by a separate organization in my home, the Valley. But other than that, like, there's really not much. Like, you see, like, your friends, okay. But it'd be awesome. Like, I'm thinking back, like, after my senior year, if I went, I played a couple of my guys, played against guys from the other school. Like, it would be something special for me. And then to also find out about something that really could have helped me or could help me or my younger friends, like, just it would have been so special for me. So I think that's going to be so special for these kids. And if we can connect, and not just kids, it's going to be adults there too. Sign up when the registration comes out. But for those like adults that are going to see what we're doing, whether they have kids, whether they know people with these shared experiences, like, it's going to be something special for everybody. So that's what I'm so excited for. Like, I cannot wait to see how many people we can reach and extend our message to, because that is such a huge part of what we want to do, is making it special for so many people and showing them there's more to life
Than sports.
because it's bigger than sports.
It's up.
Chris, I gotta ask you, Chris. Like,
What's up?
bro, what are the goals? How far are we reaching out, Mr. Director of Outreach?
Everywhere.
What's the goals?
Man, oh man. Goals are endless, man. And, blessed to be, having a lot of connections, man. I really want us to reach for the stars. I see us working with professional teams, working with professional players, even being, this is a reach, but this is all possible through, what we do is just potentially a whole sports league, I don't want to say too much, but at the end of the day, we have a lot of things to work on, but I really believe in our mission that all it takes is one sit down, one call, one text, and we're out and running. I'm just excited because I can't say too much. You guys know that I got to keep it low key, but the way things are going, man, I see us wearing a lot of green. A lot, so.
This man great.
Let's see how it goes, man.
Yeah.
We love nature.
Man, now you asked us those questions, Ian, but Ian, what are you thinking in your head? Like, where do you think we should be this summer? Like, how do you think we will be this summer? Like, what do we need to do
And
summer?
Ian, let me build off of that. Like, especially like it's gonna be our 1 year this summer. Like, how much we've grown. Like, what's coming this summer? Like Chris said, and what's next? Like, what's coming this fall? Like when we're back here in Florida at Bigger Sports HQ.
BTS HQ. Well, dude, 1 year, guys. It's been one year, and we have changed the lives of 18 students. 18 students who otherwise would not have a plan for their life after high school now have one because
amazing.
of us and the work we do.
Right.
We've raised thousands of dollars. We've had tournaments all throughout the nation, Massachusetts, soon to be Connecticut, Pittsburgh, and in our hometown, Florida, and have united communities with hundreds of people in just a couple of months by people who haven't even turned 21 yet. But that's the past, and everyone knows a core value of BTS is the vision.
Yep.
And my vision is crystal clear. I work, you work, we work hard to see it through, and we will. In 2025 to 26 school year, we will be partnered with at least 2 schools and providing educational guidance to their athletes.
Yep.
We will be expanding to Pittsburgh and offering our services across the nation, all the way up in the Northeast, all the way down to the Southeast, as south as it gets.
Hell yeah.
And we will be raising $50,000 this summer.
50 Cent like the rapper?
Nah, 50,000.
50 bands?
50,000.
I bet.
50,000.
OD.
We got
No, it's
that.
not.
Chris,
My
And
bad.
come on, we got
This-
that.
this
Come
is
on.
the part.
Is that a challenge?
This is the part where it cuts, and it shows us looking at the bank account saying that we worked our butts off through these tournaments, through our outreach, through our families, our communities, and the people we don't even know that are watching this and have no clue who we are and what we're about until now. They're going to come together and be bigger than sports itself.
Yeah.
So as we wrap it up, I got to pose the question, because you only get this chance once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
You got one thing to say to the viewers. What are you going to send them home with?
Me?
Seniority.
Man, I'm more, bigger than sports is, to me, it's a way of living. I'm the funny guy in this whole group, but just a quote for all the kids watching, high schoolers watching. Man, like I said, I have a stutter. What you just heard, I stuttered. Don't let that define you. Don't let that challenge you. Let that fuel you. If you want to speak in front of hundreds, do it. If you want to speak in a podcast like I'm doing, do it. It didn't stop me. Trust me. I've heard all the jokes, all the laughs. Does it get to me? Sure, it does. But at the end of the day, I know that my stutter is my weapon. Because why? I'm strong enough to be here and talk in front of these two. I do consider my best friends. And to y'all, confidently saying that it doesn't matter if you have a stutter, go be big. Because why?
It's
It's
bigger
bigger
than
than
sports. Luke?
All right. I was thinking about this one while Chris was talking, and I'm going to relate this one to myself. For those of you that are in high school not even just in high school, man. Screw that. For those of you that are struggling with something, whether it's your grades, whether it's something personal, whatever it is, could be sports, and you don't know what to do. Have faith in others that they will help you. Because what I did not do enough was trust in others to help me. When I was looking to get into colleges, I was like, nah, I don't need help. When I got help from a guidance counselor, a friend, a parent, it improved where I could have been to where I am now. Just by getting that extra push from somebody else to help me. Because for me, I was so hard-headed as a person. And I'll say this statement that I've heard my dad say millions of times. I've heard Ian say it maybe once or twice now. You have to be uncomfortable to get somewhere that you want to be successful in. And I've said it differently than other people say it, but you have to be uncomfortable to get somewhere you want to be successful. Because being comfortable and sticking with my way or the highway, it won't get you as far as you could be by doing something else that's out of your comfort zone that's going to challenge you, because you have to challenge yourself to succeed, because you will not improve if you do not challenge yourself. So yeah, that's my 10 cents.
Ian M. Waite. Don't want to say the full gov, but man, what's your one message to everybody watching?
Let them know.
Just one.
Damn.
It's bigger than sports. Let's get it.
Get out of here.
That's fucking great.
Oh, dude, my back hurts.
Great,
Fuck.
great.